Hey babes, your fairy wave godmother here, reminding you that planet dust is your home. Your home here, right now, this time and space with me. You belong. You're perfect. And I'm starting with that strong because how about this week, eh? Mars in Sagittarius opposing Uranus, retrograding in Gemini. Oh yeah, that big old Taurus full moon, Scorpio season, and Mercury retrograde upcoming in Sagittarius as well. So listen, in this big old world, you belong, and there are pieces of you everywhere. Everywhere out there, the world knows you, has pieces of you. And this big old Sagittarian flavor to the way we're communicating to ourselves about the relationship to the world is, I don't know, maybe it's feeling kind of crunchy. It's feeling kind of crunchy to me. It also feels like it's a whole lot of stuff floating around in the minefield. And Scorpio season, mood, is often spoken about in terms of darkness. That deep work. Scorpio is transformation, is alchemy. But it's also confusion because what was once true is no longer true. Maybe that meaning-making process is kind of going offline or awry, because right now we are in so much change and transformation, and even the universe is feeling it, babes. Like, I saw something recently about a black hole discovered in the area of sky that is part of the Sagittarius constellation. I mean, black holes, stuff goes in, doesn't come out. And I'd like to think that that is also the same way that change works, that the way that we used to be, or whatever it was that we tried to transform and make a new form out of, well, it's just energy, so it's got to go somewhere. Maybe it gets sucked into our own proverbial black holes in our stories. Or does it? Because do we really know what's in a black hole? We also have this 3-eye atlas orbiting, and I also saw something about it changing and moving direction on its own volition, and I'm like, I don't know. Healthy critique, but openness, because also, what do I know? And when we are in the world discovering things, it's just like we are in ourselves discovering things. Sometimes we're in those in-between spaces. And I think this Mars opposing Uranus, this energy feels a lot like an opportunity to question meaning making And I'll say, as a good example of that, or as an opportune example of that, synchronicities. I think that a lot of times that as we're in the throes of transformation, we look for the synchronicities to lead us to the next phase, to lead us along, and they do. And sometimes synchronicities can happen and we don't attribute meaning to them. I'm not saying it's wrong or right to attribute significant meaning to synchronistic experiences, but I invite the opportunity to ask yourself, do you really do that? Do I really do that? Is that serving me? So while this aspect, the Mars opposing Uranus, has a very strong track record, and as we're creeping through these strange days of 2025 and the astrology of 2025, all you need to do is hit the Googles and look at the number of astrologers who are also comparing some of these events, these astrological events, to prior eras, like the French Revolution, like early 1900s Europe. And I've done it as well, okay? But I'm not saying that this correlation is going to cause us to have the same exact experiences. Are we on the brink of some pretty treacherous exchanges with one another as humanity? Yeah. Does this have the, intensity? Is it giving like, pre-World War I, II sort of era vibes? Yeah. And how do you know that? How do we know that? Well, we can read the books written by the people who lived during those eras. We can look at the synchronicities that are reported. But there's so much information, and we don't need to make the same meaning out of that information, is what I'm saying. The Taurus full moon is, feels like a friendly reminder to touch grass. Touch that sensual and have that sensual experience with the earth, with yourself, with the moment in time and space. Luxuriate in what it means to actually be aware and be present and have those sensory inputs stimulated. I also think it's a great moment in time to work on the good old budget and look at the resources being spent and the resources being valued, because how we make our meaning is how we value resources and continue to perpetuate value among resources. But where is our in to the authentic relationship, the meaning making that really aligns with your own meaning, purpose, and values, which is Venus work. Venus rules Taurus, so take something, take nothing from this spaghetti at the wall series of ideas. But in this moment of time, in this week of strong energetic exchange, I wish for you the space of mind to ask yourself, what does this all mean for me, and what forms of information might I let go of, might I change value with, and how am I relating to the grounding, the sense of grounding, the touch in the grass, within this pretty strong, my head's on fire experience of upcoming Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, Mars in Sagittarius opposing Uranus in Gemini retrograde. I'm tired. I gotta get off. But I wanted to give you these thoughts for reflection because you can always go home. And as long as you are being authentic with these reflections, who cares if you get the astrology right? Know that there's just such an incredible mix of energy right now in the mind field. Find yourself within it.